joined here in the Myles High Club with my buddy, the Wooch. He's got his own YouTube channel, the Wooch Show. He's fairly new to it, so we'll show him some love. We'll go easy on him. We're starting up a new channel here called Encounters of the Nerd Kind. And basically, we talk about all kinds of bullshit going on in the gaming and entertainment world here. The Wooch and I don't agree on a lot of stuff here. And I thought it'd be a great idea for me and the Wooch to kind of go head to head sometimes. We agree on a lot of stuff, but there's also a lot of stuff we don't agree on. So that should be fun to do. But I do want to jump into one of the first topics here that is probably the biggest elephant in the room right now in any kind of news outlet and media right now, which is the return of motherfucking Rey. She's a Palpatine.
Technically, yes, but remember at the end, she adopted the Skywalker name because that's who trained her. She was trained by Luke and Leia, so therefore...
I'm sorry. Just because you were trained by someone, it doesn't mean you become them, dude. Look. What about Darth Vader being trained by Palpatine? Is he a Palpatine? I just think that her coming back to her own franchise and leading her own series again is probably not the best move Disney can do. But it's really weird because Disney had like three other Star Wars projects going on all at once now. They have a Rey saga going on. They have a different saga going on from like 12,000 years ago when the Jedis first began or whatever it was. And I think
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I bet you are. But I think there's just a lot going on and they don't really know where they want to go except for down into the ground because they're kind of running the entire thing down into the ground.
And this is where we disagree, which is the beautiful thing of it, this all. So here, Rey coming back, I think fundamentally is a great idea. You may not agree with it.
Okay, go ahead.
That's okay.
Why is it a great idea, though? Tell me why it's a great idea. If you think it's such a great idea, I'd love to know why you think it's a great idea. Because there's probably people listening to you right now that agree with you. I'm not one of those people, but I want to know why you think it's a great idea for Rey to come back.
Okay, so here's the thing about what people seem to not understand about Rey. People don't like her because they throw around the word that I frankly don't really like, Mary Sue, because to me, my issue with the term Mary Sue is it takes out any creativity of a character. You say, oh, this character is too good at something. Oh, that must mean because they're Mary Sue. Okay, so we apply that logic to basically any character out there that's too good at something, and then they have to be a Mary Sue or Gary Stu. I don't like those words. You can have problems with her character. That's completely fine.
Wooch, my thing is this, though. Why? Okay, look, it's okay that they picked a female protagonist and all like it, but why is she the way she is? How come she didn't have to go through any training, really? Like Luke and every Jedi before her had to go through rigorous training to become what they were, to face the greatest evil and threat that no one behind them could ever face. They had to go through rigorous. Any Jedi in general has to go through rigorous training from a certain age, a Padawan, and it takes years, 20 years for a Jedi to become a Jedi Knight, and even longer to become a Jedi Master. And yet Rey has two trainers that last a total of 2 years or a year, and she's a fucking master, and she knows how to do everything. And she had to go through. No, what about Dagobah? You cannot forget Dagobah, dude. You know the shit Luke had to go through on Dagobah. He was like crawling around in the muck, dude. And while he had Yoda yelling in his ear, and he would fail. He would fail constantly. Rey has never failed. Wooch. Well, Rey has never failed.
Anakin Skywalker.
He's not a Mary Sue. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
But listen.
Some people think
he was also very nice. I don't agree he is either, but he's also he builds pod races. He was great with the Force. And look, he was never anointed as a Jedi Master, and yet we know him as one of the most powerful Jedi.
Because of the darkness looming in him, they didn't want to give him the master because they saw that there was conflict within him. And yes, you brought up the pods and that he could do all that kind of stuff, that he was adept at all. You know why?
And with the Force.
He was literally born from the midi-chlorians, like Jesus Christ was born from nothing. He is the Jesus Christ of the fucking Star Wars lineage or universe, whatever it is. This is what the picture they were trying to paint, that he is like, he was born out of just the Force. So yeah, he's gonna be a strong ass motherfucker. Where did Rey come from? She came out of average people. She came out of the muggles of the Star Wars world, dude. But her grandfather is Palpatine.
Yeah,
that just doesn't match up. How she can be so powerful.
Well, I would say Palpatine, because Palpatine was a powerful Sith Lord, so that power passed on to her, and that's why. You may not like it, but that's.
I get it. You're telling me what happened, but I need to know why it is the way it is, Wooch. You're just telling me what happened. I know what happened. I watched it. Wooch, I need to know why you support it, why they did what they did.
Okay, so here, let's get back to that. So, Rey Skywalker, you may have your issues with her, but you know who doesn't? The countless women out there who see themselves as Rey, who go to cons all the time. I see them all dressed up as Rey, and how much, when they finally saw a character that they can look up to, when they saw that, they felt like they were seen. That is important. That means something. That is why they're bringing her back, because that effect that she has on women and young women, because they see themselves as Rey, and that's ultimately, that's.
So Rey is an inspiration to young women and all that. I love that. I love that, but an inspiration to what? To be the best, to never go through trials and tribulation, to always be on top. Would be an inspiration for what?
She wasn't all perfect, because even when she was wielding a lightsaber, she was fighting Kylo Ren. She lost that fight, and she didn't finish Luke's training, and she never did, because Luke ended up dying at the end. So she was trained again by Leia. So she was fully trained. We don't know exactly. I thought it was like 4 years of her training, but it might have been a little less than that. But and she's still less. She can still train, because I was seeing a strong written character. She had.
What makes her a strong written character? Because she can do strong, powerful things. That doesn't make her a strong written character. A strong written character would be someone that goes through trials and tribulations, someone that starts from nothing and grows. While she does have a little bit of growth in her, it's not the type of growth that defines an empowered, strong character that starts from nothing. That's my opinion.
Right, and you're entitled to that. So yeah, no. Go on.
I just think that she was big, strong, and the best at everything, and intelligent for no specific reason other than because.
Well, the reason was because where she lived as a scavenger, so she knew a lot of stuff about ships and everything. So I buy that. That I buy, because
that's believable, because there's something to hold it to. Okay, she's good at scavenging. Why is she good at scavenging? Because there's a why to support it. The why is because she grew up alone on the desert of, I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
This is a why, though. It supports it. Why is she the best at everything? I don't know.
Because as we find out later in Rise of Skywalker, remember that line? I know you're not going to like it, and I am all the Jedi. She had all the Jedi with her. Because there are certain things in the new trilogy that we can agree on, but I'm just trying to get my point across for Rey, why she is the way she is.
I don't think there's anything on the new trilogy that I can agree on at all, Wooch. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
To me, there's only Star Wars 1 through 6. I just don't think there's a big enough why there for why Rey is the way she is. It's okay to have a female character. It's okay to have a strong leading female character, but it's not okay for her to be the best at everything, not have to go through any kind of troubles, not have to deal with any kind of bullshit. Okay, she has no parents. Okay, she lives alone. That's fine. Like, Luke doesn't have parents either. I mean,
no.
Anakin doesn't have parents. You know what I'm saying? You could say that for practically everyone in Star Wars. Nobody has parents in Star Wars. You could pretty much say that about everybody. So,
well, as far as we know, we don't know what happened with Ahsoka parents yet. Unless you watch. But no,
that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
There's nothing that really defines Rey about any kind of hardship she went through, other than the same thing that everybody else went through. Nobody has parents in Star Wars universe.
That's what I wanted to bring up, because also another good reason for bringing her back is all the people like yourself who don't like her. There's always a chance at redemption, because let's remind people, way back when Clone Wars was on, they introduced Ahsoka. What was their reaction to her? Everybody hated
people
Ahsoka.
didn't like her. People didn't like her.
Said, like, oh my God, she's so annoying, she's terrible. And now,
but once Rosario Dawson stepped into the shoes of Ahsoka, people liked her.
No, it was that later on in seasons of her character growth. She got character development more. Ashley Eccleston, who voiced her, did a phenomenal job. That's who it is who voices her. Bravo to the entire Clone Wars team. I just want to shout that out. So no, but remember, the same thing can happen to Rey. They can always give her a bet, because I did enjoy her. I think there was still so much potential she can be. And with this new movie, they can do that. They can make her how she needs to be, to grow, to answer what people are saying. Oh, she's too perfect at it. Maybe we can see a more vulnerable side from her in this new movie. Or what my theory is, when she gathers the new Jedi and trains them, it may end with her being very old and passing the torch, and there's an entirely new reign of Jedi, and her story's over, and then it carries on to the next group of new Jedi, whatever story that is.
Here's what I think. I think Rey needs to go away, and if they do make more Star Wars, it should be only on the Revan saga, because the Revan saga is something that needs to be told. That is a cool saga. To me, that's more interesting than the Skywalkers. Yeah, to me, the Revan saga is more interesting than the Skywalker saga. Revan starts off as a Jedi Knight, then a Master, and then becomes a Sith Lord, and then becomes a Jedi Master again, and then becomes a Sith Lord again, and then saves people. He becomes a legend in his own. Revan's story would be such a breath of fresh air for the Star Wars community and the Star Wars fans, that I really think it would reinvigorate it if it was given to the right people, like maybe Jon Favreau, maybe Filoni, but and Kathleen Kennedy stayed as far away from it as possible. I think maybe we could have a good saga on our hands if we had some Revan.
The Kathleen Kennedy thing. That's impossible. She's the president of Lucasfilms. Everything that you love about Star Wars right now, she's still involved in. She's still responsible for. I know you.
Ask me what I love about Star Wars.
What do you love about Star Wars?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I hate it
like
right
The Mandalorian?
Not anymore. Not season 3. I won't watch it. Season 3 is just that's what I've heard.
No, don't listen to that garbage. I'm sorry.
All right.
And I'm sorry. No,
what makes it good?
Say
what makes it good? Yeah. What makes season 3 good?
We actually see the remnants of what's happening with the Empire, the remnants of the Empire in this season. It's layered throughout all of the episodes. We get to see what Moff Gideon was up to, and
don't tell me there's fillers in there, because that's not what you want to tell someone. You're trying to convince to watch it.
There's one filler episode.
The Mandalorian is not long enough. Why are you putting fillers in it? This isn't Naruto. What are you doing? They're losing me. They're losing me a bit on that Mandalorian, man.
This guy, but he goes through some stuff, and at the last episode, I don't want to spoil it, but pretty fucking rad.
Yeah.
And the season also focuses more on the Mandalorians, which
that I would hope so. That's what the show is kind of called.
It does. And the thing is, you talk about, you love Favreau and Filoni, and they're still involved with the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I know
they're still doing this.
I know they are, but I bet Bo-Katan is pretty prominent in season 3, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking knew it. See? Dude. I don't know, man.
You don't like Bo-Katan?
I didn't say that. I like Bo-Katan. I do, but I think
she's the Empress of Mandalore, so of course she's going to have type of a leadership role.
Of course.
She's royalty.
Of course. I just think that, look, if they're focusing on the things you're saying they're focusing on, then I might be interested in watching it. but from the things I've heard on the other side of the spectrum, I've heard some pretty bad things about it. And I don't know, man.
No, because I've heard people on your side talk like they're trying to say some political agenda.
What do you mean on my
But
side? What do you mean on my side?
on your side, on your side, that's saying Star Wars has turned into something.
You mean like what do you mean?
Just
What do you mean on my side? Like words coming out of my mouth, or my community, my fan base?
talking about like, oh, they're trying to spread some political message when
Oh, you're
Star Wars
talking
has been
about.
political
Oh,
for a
yeah.
long
Okay.
time.
You're
Yeah,
talking about message spreading, gender identics. I don't want to harp on the gender identics in the. I'm okay with Mary
because I
Sue.
don't. Yeah,
I'm okay
because
with
yeah,
talking
no,
about Mary Sue and all that. I just don't want to harp, and I'm bashing it because it's
exactly.
bad. It's a bad story. That's why I bash it. I don't bash it because I hate that there's a woman in it. I bash it because it's
Exactly.
genuinely a bad fucking story. I have literally no issues with inserting different sexual orientations in a film or a franchise or anything like that. I have no issues with a character being gay or a character being a lesbian. I have no issues with that if it makes sense for the story. If you just insert it just to insert it, just because you want to put it in there and you want to raise awareness to that, but it has nothing to do with the story, like what they did for one of the older Star Wars, like one of the new, like Star Wars Episode 7 at the very end of it, 2015, I think, Star Wars Episode 7, for no apparent reason, there was two women kissing at the end or something. And it's like,
Oh, that's just normal.
literally there was no reason or right rhyme for it or anything. It didn't bring any value.
But it's just
It didn't
normal.
bring any value to it. Yes, but we've
It
never
doesn't
seen
have to
that in the
bring.
Star Wars universe before.
No,
Why put it in
why would
now?
we
It's just a
why
little too
would
convenient to put it in right now. And then
why
I'll have
would
all
we
these.
assume that Star Wars wouldn't have like a similar like archetype like us because Star
I'm not
Trek
saying
does
it
it.
doesn't have it. It definitely has it, but they've never had a reason to feature it. What pearl of wisdom does it offer to make the story greater? Nothing. That's nothing
Just
to do with
shows
the
that they're
Force.
normal people out there too, because that's a normal thing. Plain, it's just there because it exists. It happens.
Okay.
I don't see it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not a bad
Yeah.
point. It's in there because it exists and it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Which is true. It does exist in a normal thing, but does it belong in Star Wars? Because
Why
it's never been
not?
featured in there before.
So
Is
what?
Star Wars
Who
considered
cares?
normal?
Why
No,
not?
there's lightsabers and there's force powers. That's not normal.
Right, so it doesn't have, but still, it should still reflect life because there are people,
It should
even
still reflect
in
life,
time.
but what aspects of life should it reflect? Like,
So you
should
think,
you be inserting those kind of politics inside of your movie? Should you
why
be?
not?
So
I
your
don't see
question
an
is why
issue.
not? Just to put it in, that's okay.
Yeah, because I don't see the issue with showing it, just because they never showed it before. Because as we evolve as people, as we grow as a society, art is going to reflect that. So that's what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look, we're obviously going to have different opinions on whether Ray being back is good or not, as well as our viewers are going to have different opinions. Some are going to side with me, some are going to side with you. I
Yeah.
don't think it's the best thing for Disney to be doing, but then again, they are on a trend right now of digging a hole deeper for themselves. I don't even
As you
know what
say.
kind of, yeah, I mean, look, but it's okay for us to disagree. It's all good. Now, I do want to bring up a thing and ask you a certain question.
Okay.
I want to ask you about Brie Larson and the whole Captain Marvel situation, because the Miss Marvel movie, the trailer just dropped a couple of days ago, and
The Marvels.
the Marvels, yeah, and I just want to know where you stand on that, because I can tell you right now that Brie Larson doesn't really even like her fans or the role that she was put in, and Disney kind of knows this information, so they kind of like put her on the
That
backseat a little bit.
is, sorry. Oh, that
I'm
is
done.
an
Yeah, go ahead.
assumption. That is an assumption. We don't know that. I don't believe that because there's footage of her acting out with fans, liking and loving the character that she plays. So all this talk about like, oh, she does this and this and this, I think it's hearsay.
Haven't you seen
I
her in
don't.
interviews before? Haven't you seen her attitude? She doesn't look like she wants to be there, and her co-stars next to her, they roll their eyes when she talks because it sounds like what comes out of her mouth is all bullshit. That she's not herself. She's
I've seen
fake.
some of them.
That's what they're
I
saying.
don't. Well, they're entitled to their opinion, but I I don't see it. I
Why
mean,
don't you?
unless
What's
it's
your
just
opinion on it? Why don't you see it? What do you like? What makes her so great? Is it because she's hot? She looks like a fucking Starbucks barista.
okay. So here now, the first Captain Marvel movie I thought was okay. It had its moments. I enjoyed the Nick Fury and Carol Danvers part. I liked seeing young Monica Rambeau. I liked the Skrulls finally getting some spotlight. I like that. Well, fundamentally, it was still missing something. Flash forward. Well, I don't think you ever watched it, but if you can, Miss Marvel, it is really good. It is a really good
Dude,
show.
I
It is
cannot.
it's such a good show. I know it's made
You're
it's out there for like the younger audience for sure, but what the message it's trying to say, which is what the comic was saying, it's perfect for this day and age. Miss Marvel at itself is about a young Pakistani woman who suddenly discovers she has powers. That is something that we haven't seen before. That's a lot of new faces out there that's going to be welcomed in, and essentially they are us. Iman Vellani, the actress playing Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, is much like her in the comics, a big nerd, loves us, you know, everything about the 616 universe she knows. And she's such an excitable personality. When you watch that show, she is so infectious. That is the missing ingredient that they needed for Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is the straight man. Miss Marvel is that energetic push that they need. It'll be like the good cop bad cop. No, I don't want to say good cop bad cop thing, but you know what I'm saying.
like a dynamic
It's
duo.
it's a dynamic duo. It's opposites attracting. One's more serious, one's a little bit more energetic. She'll learn the ropes of being a true hero, and maybe even Carol Danvers will grow as well. We got Monica Rambeau, who's also equally great in the WandaVision show. I know you don't watch the Marvel TV shows, but you really should because WandaVision was great. She's
I skimmed
great
through
in
it.
that. It's okay. She's great in that, and all three of them together, because that first movie was missing something. It was missing more. It was missing more heart, is what I like to say. And Kamala Khan is going to be that heart, and that's what they're
Okay.
going to show. That's
All
what
right.
I wanted to say.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to see when it comes out, and I guess you could be the first person to tell us if that's exactly what happened and it was good enough. So I guess you'll
Yeah,
be the one to let us know because if I
I
do
will.
watch it, like I said in my rant that I posted, if I do watch Miss Marvel, it'll be simply to just rip it a new asshole and then report my findings on YouTube.
You
So
can very
you
well do
seems like
that.
you might enjoy it, and that's fine. You go ahead and enjoy it, and I wish you the best of luck when you do enjoy it.
Thank you. It's perfect for this day and age. Who
You're
they
saying
are,
you're
it's
you're saying it's perfect for this day and age, but what you're not seeming to understand is Disney are the ones who control the day and age we're in. Based on the media they put out, they alter our culture. So whatever they put out is what the day and age will be. You're saying it's perfect for the day and age, but you got it backwards. The day and age is this because of this is what they're giving us.
okay.
They are the source of everything, dude. All these huge corporations that put out these products for us to consume, they're the reason we're talking about this today. They're the reason people have confusing thoughts about who they're supposed to be because of the stuff they put out there. They didn't do that in the 90s. They were strictly creative stuff, Disney. They were strictly great stories. The story of Simba, it's something to be cherished, man. The story of Simba is something to really look back on and say,
Right.
that is filmmaking. The
And
story
you
of
don't think
Aladdin, the story of the Little Mermaid. But no, they're going to bring it all back just to fuck it up. Why are they doing this? Because they don't have any new creative thoughts. So they're going to go back and destroy old IPs with new technology and modern thoughts. No, dude. There's a reason these products were so good when they came out and so perfect. They were original pieces that deserve the utmost respect. And when you're going to bring them back and totally forego everything that was built on it up to right now, Disney is what it is today because of the products it made in the past. And they're just now going to forego everything and just disrespect everything just because of the people they have in charge right now. Do you know the mess they're going to be stuck cleaning up in the next 40 years, dude, when they're trying to get back on track and they're not on top anymore in 40 years? Do you know the mess that they're going to have, that those execs are going to be cleaning up, that all these people before them, Kathleen Kennedy, all these people fucked up for them?
I
There's going to be a
disagree.
huge mess to clean up. These people that are being born right now, and then in the year 2060, when they're executives of Disney, they're going to have a huge mess to clean up. It's going to be, I feel so bad for them. But me as a filmmaker, my production company, I'm in there changing shit. I'm not focusing on Disney, but I am focusing on video game adaptations, my production company. And we are going to make video game adaptations the way they're supposed to be made, following the source material. The Last of Us was a perfect example of what a perfect example of the direction we should be taking for video games. I'm not going to say it's perfect because The Last of Us had its flaws, but it was the closest thing to an adaptation of a video game I have ever seen in my life. And fuck me, was it good for what adaptations are today? That shit was good. It trumped everything that has come out before it as far as adaptations.
Yes. Speaking more on that and other great adaptations that I know you do movie adaptations, but I don't think you've ever watched Castlevania, did you, on Netflix? That was a great adaptation. That anime fucking rocked. That was a great fucking adaptation.
I've never seen Castlevania. I've never played Castlevania. I was more of a Devil May Cry kind of guy.
Devil May Cry is good too. I enjoy Dante, but yes, the Castlevania is a great adaptation. Let me see. Detective Pikachu.
I probably will make an adaptation video and cover Sonic one day, and definitely Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
But as far as adaptations are going now, video game adaptations are being like this is the pivot in filmmaking right now. It is gearing towards it's tilting towards video game adaptations because video game adaptations are becoming king, dude. They're just gonna trump films, TV, everything soon. I'm telling you right now, video games is rising to that caliber way above. Now, one thing that is two things that are in the works right now, and it's all from Sony because Sony's just trying to pump it all out. Now that we have the technology to make such great stuff. Sony is putting out a Horizon movie. They're working on a Horizon movie, and they're also working on a God of War TV series. Now, I got to say, I am beyond excited for a God of War TV series. I am beyond excited for a God of War TV series. The problem is I have my reservations about who's going to be in charge of the God of War series because it's totally easy to fuck that up too.
Yep. And hopefully they get Christopher Judge to play Kratos. They
probably won't because he doesn't look like him. I'm very excited to see what direction they take it in and what part of Kratos' life that they kind of cover in the series. What I was really shocked about going back to The Last of Us, I was really shocked that they managed to wrap up the entire first game in one season. Yeah, I love that, dude. I love that. Like short and sweet, quick, to the point, great pacing.
And season two may be divisive.
It's going to be 100% divisive because they have to follow it source code. You already know what's going to happen. Joel's going to fucking die in the worst possible way with no
spoilers, by the way, for people. And you know what?
Oh, spoiler alert. If you haven't played The Last of Us Part 2 that came out 3 fucking years ago, Joel dies. There you go.
Well, we knew that from... Yes, but no. And how did I feel about that? Shocked, but ultimately the story they ended up telling in the second game, I still enjoyed. I understood it. His story was over. It's now their story now. Because what's it called? It's called The Last of Us. It's not called Joel Show or which we love him, but yeah, it's
I'm actually okay with that. I'm actually okay with the direction they took it in. I'm cool with the direction they took it in because frankly, it was divisive, but that's what The Last of Us is.
Mm-hmm. And The Last of Us is meant to
And The Last of Us is meant to make you think different things, and it's meant to make you question certain ideas about stuff. But overall, they did a great job in the adaptation, and the adaptation is definitely a step in the right direction for
Yes.
all of Hollywood, straight up. And
Agreed.
I think, that's it's only going to get better from here on out. And I think the God of War series, like, I'm excited about, like I said, but I am very worried about Amazon's fallout. I'm worried because the Rings of Power was a piece of shit. What'd you think about the Mario movie?
What I think?
Did you agree with my opinion on it? Do you have your own opinion on it? Tell me. Go ahead. Tell the viewers. Tell me.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty solid adaptation. I thought I had a good time watching it. I thought it was fun.
Well, you know what I think about it, Wooch?
Refresh my memory.
Why, what made it good? You keep saying, oh, it's good. Yeah, but why? What made, you heard my adaptation. I think it's good because I enjoyed how they incorporated platforming. I enjoyed, the characters' voices. I enjoyed the story they told. It felt like they were paying homage and paying real respect.
I like that they felt like real brothers, like that flashback scene to when Luigi's being picked on, and we see them as like baby Mario and baby Luigi, and his brother stands up for him. I like those types of messages.
Okay,
so it clicked in me. Like I got a little teary-eyed watching that scene because it was, like, hey, he was sticking up for his brother. And the fact that, in the games, Princess Peach is always the one getting kidnapped. This time, they flipped it on its head. This time, it's Luigi they're rescuing.
Yeah.
And there's a few things they didn't quite explain that I want to know about.
Yeah, one thing I did notice about this movie, I even said it in my adaptation review, is the movie was very surface level, the dialogue. It never really went deep into anything. It was pretty much like it presented the surface level of every idea possible, but it never really dove any deeper. It never had a message it was sending.
I would say is a step up from the original.
More than one step up, I'd say. What do you think about the character Bowser itself? Like how he was a little strange, in my opinion, wasn't he?
A little bit, but that was his character, and him always wanting to, go after Peach and him kidnapping her. They made it more of an embarrassing part.
A human fucking a human having sex with a fucking turtle? How's that gonna work?
Have you seen?
I don't think Peach's pussy is that big.
No, I was gonna say, have you seen a turtle's dick?
I have not seen a turtle's dick. Have you seen a turtle's dick?
He's just in love with her because she's the only. We think she's human because, we don't know what she just randomly came in there.
They alluded that she came from Earth, like she came from the same place that Mario came from. They totally alluded to that.
Yeah.
So she is 100% a human, bro. She is a person, and this giant spiked turtle shell motherfucker wants to fuck.
True. Yeah, which is, hey, I mean, if he's got to do what turtles got to do,
Bestiality, baby. Peach will love that turtle dick.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, all right. Well, I think this is a good spot to end this. This is a great first session of Close Encounters of the Nerd Kind.
Kind. Sorry.
Thanks. Hey, don't apologize. That was a great echo. I love that. Appreciate you coming on here, Wooch.
Me too.
If you guys don't know, this is Wooch. He's got a brand new channel he just started, and we're going to be doing a few debates like this moving forward in this new series called Encounters of the Nerd Kind.
Kind.
Nailed it. Love it. I was hoping you do that.
Thank you.
So, moving forward, this is what we're going to be. I am President Myles from the Myles High Club. This is the Wooch. From the Wooch Show, and we appreciate you joining us today on our discussion. So until the next time, and I appreciate you guys coming out for this. I love you all. Wooch, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
As always.
And I will see you on the next debate on Encounters of the Nerd Kind.
Kind.
All right, everyone. You guys have a great night. I love you all. We're outie.
Fatality. Flawless victory.